And welcome back to the Huge Boob Corner. I am Peter McLean, your host. I'm really excited today because I have a guest here that I am just like, I have to pinch myself because she's so amazing. So she's a model, she's an influencer, she's a TV star.
Yeah, a little here and there.
And she has some of the most amazing boobs I have ever seen. Would you please welcome Barbie Nicole?
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I'm so happy that you were able to make the time. I'm glad that, I saw that your post, you're like, hey, I'm in Vegas. And I was like, yeah, well, next time you're here. And then you're like, well, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's true. I am here. I'm very excited to be on your show too. My first podcast ever. Let's see how it goes.
That's exciting. I will do my best to make it a good experience for you.
Okay.
I want to set the bar high.
Thank you.
So, so you're here in Vegas, just, doing some work, just,
Pools.
Yeah. Do you get to enjoy yourself when you're here too?
Oh, of course. Business and pleasure. You have to do both. You can't just come to Vegas and do less work.
Yeah. Well, some people do, unfortunately. They here for conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's
but the one that looks like me, obviously.
So, and this is one of those cities where I feel like you probably don't, you probably attract attention everywhere you go. But in Vegas is that one place where, seeing massive boobs probably isn't super uncommon.
Yeah, that's true. I see a lot of big booby girls, but mine are pretty much out there.
Yeah, you're in a league of your own.
Yeah, I am.
So, all right. So let's start with talking about your modeling.
Okay, sounds good.
When did you start modeling?
I started modeling when I was 24. It started when I started to do beauty pageants.
Okay, what was that like?
It was fun, but I was I don't know if I did the 400 cc's. I think I had natural boobs, but then being in the pageants and all that, I did decide to do the 400 cc's, my first boob job ever.
Okay, so it was doing that kind of influenced your decision to want to go bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're doing you're in the waterfalls, you're in the Bahamas, you're in the sand. It's just you're in bikinis and pageant dresses and all that. So you have to have boobs. I don't know. They
help.
Yeah, they help a lot. It made modeling more fun.
Yeah. So what was it that got you into modeling then in general? Was it just like something that you wanted to try, or was it something that like somebody that you knew, a friend, or was like, hey, you should, they liked it, or what was it that kind of drew you to it?
I basically, when I was 18 years old, I started as a dancer, an exotic dancer. Okay. So being in the field and for so many years is why I did get the boobs, because you see that. I was like, well, I really want to be that big or want to look like that eventually. So, the dancing was great. I was doing the dancing and then I was doing the pageants. Okay. So for me, I've always loved big boobs.
Nice.
I always wanted to have big boobs.
Nice.
So I would say being a dancer got me into the modeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had a couple photographers approach me when I was 18 years old and say, oh, do you want to be in a magazine? And things like that. Then it escalated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you do, after you started to do the pageants, did you do print work, like magazines?
I did.
Okay.
Back then, they paid us to be in magazines, back in the days.
Yeah.
Now they don't. We have to pay to be in magazines, but I just don't think that's cool.
But nowadays,
I don't do that.
Well, I was going to say nowadays, because you can be your own brand on social media, you don't really need print anymore. If you amass a large enough following on Instagram or Twitter or X, it's like, honestly, you don't need them.
That's true. You don't as much as before. Yeah. But it's nice to grace the cover. I was on Scores. I believe it was July's cover girl, or was it April? I don't know. The days are flying.
I'm sure you won't be there. I'm sure it won't be your only cover.
No, and I'm going to be shooting with Score again August 31st. So I'm excited. They actually asked me to come to Miami a bunch of times. I'm like, I can't leave. I'm not leaving summer, hurricane season and all that. When I come, I want to stay a long time. So they're like, oh, okay, your boobs are so big. We really want you on the show again.
They'll keep after you, yeah.
And they're going to shoot me in California now. So I don't really have to go to Miami. So it works out excellent for me. So I'm excited to shoot with them again.
That's great. So you did, how many years did you do the modeling before you went into more adult modeling? Or was it always kind of adult?
I basically just did glamour modeling, Playboy style modeling, not even really penthouse modeling.
Okay, so more just like topless.
Very long time.
All right. And then so what, when you got to, was it just as the boobs got bigger, you became more because when did Score approach you?
Score approached me on Twitter or X now. Yeah. And I had the 2000s only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that obviously, because that's you're exactly what, because they were founded on the whole slim and stacked.
That's what they call me, slim and stacked Barbie doll.
Yeah, and so when you look at their classic models from the '90s, like Busty Dusty and stuff like that's
Minka. Everybody talks about Minka all the time. They love her.
That's just you're that perfect representation of what they were founded on.
That's what they said on my interview when I had the interview with one of the editors, editors, and I met him in person. It was a nice trip in Miami. I think it was last year, actually.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's great. I mean, the magazine has diversified, with like more natural models and more enhanced. So it's nice that there's variety. But when it started, though, there was definitely a clear, it was in that, to me, with like the golden age of that super busty.
Wendy Whoppers, all that. That's really awesome. I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that like that first time you shot with Score?
Well, the first time I shot with Score was awesome. It was a different thing. I mean, it's a little bit more explicit, you have to play with toys and like do things. So basically, they're the only company I work with. I don't do any adult with anybody else. I don't shoot with photographers that way or anything. It's just basically just Score.
Okay.
So I'm just really a Score girl.
Nice.
And OnlyFans model too.
Yeah.
That's it.
But like because you had done modeling a lot before you did Score. So was Score's setups, were they similar? Were they different to what you'd already been done?
Score was awesome. They're just like, I work with the same photographer, great makeup artist. It's a lot of fun. Like I love, if I can make a lot of money just touching myself, I don't understand why not, and it's fun. It's like 2 days of shooting.
Yeah.
And I just love it. My customers love it because I can shoot my own self doing things, but this is professional, so this is incredible. So I sell that on my OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's on a scale that's a little that's different.
And it's just great quality. It just looks so much better, So
I love the stuff that you do yourself is really, even when you're just like
it's with an iPhone.
It's but it's still like, phones now are just so good that, even when you film yourself,
it's all about lighting.
Yeah, yeah. Walking down the street or, sitting by the pool or something like that. It still looks, really good and I'm sure fans like that because it shows you in a more realistic environment.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my fiance is a photographer, so he does all my work. Like he does my, not video work, but my photos and all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So he teaches me a lot.
Oh, that's good. And do you feel like you're still learning even though you've been doing modeling for a long time?
Yeah, he teaches me a lot of lighting, and lighting is very important. And he buys me the lights and he shows me what, and it's just really cool. Like the lights some of them, you get a magnet, it can go on certain places. It can do different kind of lighting on your face, golden, just yellow. It's just very cool. I'm learning more and more as we go.
Do you have a photo shoot that you've done at any time, not just with Score, but that just really stood out to you in terms of like the results or the setup? Like, was it in an interesting location or in a really cool studio or?
The thing is now with myself now being the way I am and being a little bit older and more mature, I don't really shoot with photographers. I don't do GWCs, guys with cameras or anything like that for money like I used to.
Yeah.
I basically just I shoot with my fiance constantly. So we have a lot of work. So I would say shooting with him is the best because I can drink my energy drinks and I could do this and that and I don't have to be where I can't not move.
Yeah. And you're 100%.
Freedom. It's freedom. Like if I don't want to do something or change outfits or makeup, it's all in my house.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
And you have 100% trust and comfort with the person
so that's pretty much all I do is shoot with him. And I have a couple photographers in California, but now they're in Miami. Mm-hmm. So it's like I really lost them. So it's like I'm very, very picky on who I shoot any content with.
Yeah.
Penthouse is okay. Sometimes I'll do some open legs, but not all the time. But, as for playing and all that, it's just Score.
Yeah.
Or myself.
Okay.
But it's not really adult to me. It's just it's okay. It's slow hardcore.
It's like soft.
Soft hardcore. That's
stuff.
the word. Soft hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you do pretty much only solo stuff. You don't do.
I do girls, but just oiling up. Like I said, it's just very Playboy style, not Penthouse style. With girls.
Yeah.
I have one girl I did only.
And so is that do you have a favorite kind of content that you like to make in terms of? My
favorite, I don't know if I can try to say the word without cussing, but my favorite, my favorite's the one that I sell is the oil up titty fucks, obviously. That's my biggest sellers.
Like with a toy?
With the toy. Okay. So either I can do it suctioned onto the mirror or I can do it standing up.
Yeah.
It's just my bestseller.
Do you try to do it like a POV style where the fans can try to imagine themselves as
I talk. You have to talk in it. Otherwise, with a JOI and a come countdown for sure. Otherwise, it's not going to be like an oil up. You got to give instructions, I guess. So.
Well, and was it interesting when you started making your own content to figure out what people really liked and what they responded to?
Yeah. It was the oil ups for sure, 100%. They love that. And then you get the customs, the nurse, the dress up, the humiliation, the small penis humiliation, SPH.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have you gotten, for the most part, for customs, mostly, pretty, enjoyable things that you like to do? Or is it just, or do you get some that you're like, I'm not really into this, but I'll still do it because I'm getting...
There's some that are cool and there's some that are weird. When they're like trying to tell me to be their stepmom and then like they go like I'm a little kid, they just go they say little things like that. I am just like, I'm not doing it. I just kind of go away. The stepmom thing is super hot, but when you start saying like you're under 18 or you're 18, then, I'm like, I'm out of here.
When they put an ick factor in, you're just like, be an adult.
It's not classy. I can't do that.
Well, and that's
because they reflect on me.
Yeah, well, and that's understandable. And you don't want to be associated with something that is
I got that a little bit ago and I was like, yeah, you're a little weird. I think I'm a pass. So I just like don't do it. But I only do them if I feel comfortable with doing them.
Sure.
A lot of them are scripts,
Yeah.
So you have to like learn, write them down, put in your whole verbiage and, things that you want to do. I really like the home wrecker that I made. That's really fun. The home wrecker one.
Okay.
And then I like the sexy secretary, of course, seducing the boss. Those are like my two new favorite videos.
Really?
They were customs though.
Okay.
But I made it into my own to sell. I didn't sell their customs. So I like those. I think those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any scenes like in your mind that you would like to do at some point that you haven't done?
You have to keep it new and fresh all the time. I still got to think about, more things to do. I've been in Vegas for almost 2 weeks. I'm like, I haven't been home in a minute. So I'm all scattered a little bit.
So you're not like when you're at home, you're
then I'll be thinking more about everything.
Yeah.
And then of course I'll need my time to relax after this trip.
Yeah.
And then I got to get back to reality. And then I have SCORE on the 31st of August to shoot. So I'm a little busy.
How was it seeing yourself on the cover of that magazine?
You know what? I thought it was amazing. I am very confused of why, I shot with them a bunch of times, but my boobs are 2,000 cc's. They're not 2,500 cc's. Mm-hmm. Or, the 28's are brand new. I just shot with them. So I don't understand why it was the 2,000 cc's for me.
Oh,
I'm kind of confused.
That they put you on the cover when you had your 2,000s, but now you're bigger.
Oh, two other boob jobs more and then some. So it's like I was kind of confused with that.
Well, you know what though? But then that gives them another reason to put you on to do another cover.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just 2,000 cc's to 25 to 28. It's a big difference. Like my rack is way bigger.
Yeah. Yeah,
so that's it. That was my only taken back because when I talked to the SCORE editor and he's like, "Oh, we want to tell you that you're the SCORE cover model," and I was like so excited because I am. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw it, I was like, "Hey, those are my 2000s. That's like my first shoot. My rhinoplasty still kind of a little swollen.
Yeah,
my butt implants aren't there. I have butt injections, so it's like a whole nother look. Now I'm like butt implants. Mm-hmm. My rhino's like completely." 2 years later, it's like completely doll nose. Yeah. And my boobs are huger.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that'll make this next shoot that much more impactful, I think.
Yeah.
Because, it's like they got you earlier, but now they have you.
Yeah, they've had me
better.
for I've been with them for 4 years now, right? Because 2025 will be next year. So yeah, I've been with them for a minute.
So you first shot with them in 2021?
When I got the 2000s.
Okay.
That's when they wanted me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty soon, and after I got them, they found me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and with, so do you, when you do the OnlyFans or the loyal fans,
both.
When you do you do different type of content for both, or do you put the same?
I sell the same video on the same thing because some people may not want to do the subscription on loyal fans and maybe hate OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
some people, not everybody likes OnlyFans.
Yeah, and it's probably better to diversify.
Yeah, so then and then I have a free OnlyFans. So if you don't want to do the subscription but you want to buy my videos all the time, you're able to. The free one does not show boobs or anything. You're not going to get. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do a side boob with no nip. Maybe they'll say a little nip
a little bit
as
of
a thank you, but not really. Yeah. And then on my, of course, my paid one, it's different. Mm-hmm. So then you have to have a subscription, but there'll be nudes and all that stuff on the wall. So you have a choice. If you really want to see me, you can.
Yeah.
Like Instagram kind of looking. And then if you want to pay me to see most of it on my wall, then you go that avenue.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that you have been on television.
Yes.
And specifically, you were on the show Botched.
Yeah, that was a blast.
So let's so how did that happen? Like, did the producers of the show, did they see you on social media and reach out to you, or how did that come about?
I believe it was Facebook. It was Facebook. They reached out to me. They're like, we would like you to go on Botched. But, you never believe things on like Facebook or Instagram because it could be like fake or whatever.
Yeah, somebody just put,
So then they asked me and I was like, okay, this is cool. But then another time, another person asked me and I was like, okay, cool. But then when the last person asked me, they're like, yeah, we saw you. We want to have you on Botched. Have you had anything botched? I'm like, absolutely not have anything botched. Not going.
Yeah.
I'm just, I have plastic surgery and I love my plastic surgery. So they're like, we'd like to have you on the show. And I was like, okay, but you have to go in steps. You don't go right away. You have to do like a Skype call with somebody. Mm-hmm. Then you get to like the agent and then the manager and then the producer. It's steps. You don't just go on Botched.
No. I'm sure they have a vetting process.
So then after we did all that and I went to Facebook, I saw the producer's name and I knew it was 100% legit. Because like I said, people can lie to you, manipulate you, or et cetera, or make you think you're going to be on something and you're really not.
Yeah.
So they approached me. I thought it was awesome. I had a really good time. I had my 2000s, right? Yeah, I had my 2000s, and I decided, gravity's coming. So I was like, I want to have some kind of support in my boobs, so they don't fall and get all droopy, which they never will, hopefully not. Yeah. But anyways, I added the internal bra. So that's the reason I went onto the show to ask the doctors, Dr. Nassif and Dr. Dubrow, about getting the surgical bra. Okay. Which is made out of sutures because Dr. Rivas only does them with sutures, not mesh or pigskin, dead people or whatever it's called. So, I did that and they were like, no, you're like absolutely perfect, which I couldn't believe it because that they're so, mean and kind of like not so happy with other people's work. And they kind of tell you what, how they feel.
Well, and that's what I got from the show because the name itself has a negative connotation. Yeah. When you say something was botched, that's not a positive thing. So I just was what was interesting to me was because like I was hoping that say you weren't brought on the show to be exploited or to be kind of made fun of.
A model.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Because they, for the sake of the show, you have people like because there's another show called My Strange Addiction, which I'm sure they've had. Know that one. Yeah, which I'm sure they've had women that have a lot of plastic surgery because some get addicted to procedures. So I was just hoping that you didn't have a negative, and when you saw the show, did you think that it was a good like?
When I saw the show, I was like surprised. I thought they were gonna be mean to me or whatever, but they were like, "You're perfect. Your boobs are perfect." They never say that to anybody really on the show. So at this size.
Yeah. So is the point like they bring you on for the sake of essentially evaluating how good or bad your work is?
The evaluations are real. The show is real. Okay. It's not fake at all.
Well, no. I just don't know. I just don't know like if the show was just meant to basically bring people on and then they look at what you've done and then they're like, yeah, that wasn't good or that wasn't good.
Yeah, they want the idea of going on the show is for them to fix you.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people, they do offer, things to be done if you go on the show. Yeah. People that are literally really botched up.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went on there just as, a consultation to see if I should do the internal bra or not. And they said, I was like I said, I'm perfect, but the thing is, too, they're like, oh, you're perfect. Don't touch anything. You don't need the internal bra. It's a hoax. It's nothing. It's not good. It's not going to do anything. It's just a money maker. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, and they asked me, they're like, oh, are you going to do it? And I go, no, I was thinking about it. I don't think I'm going to do it, right? Yeah. And then they showed me doing it. Like I did the 2500s and at the end of the Botched thing. Okay. So it was really cool. I didn't listen to the doctors, of course, because you know what? The doctors are awesome, but they're not XXL doctors. They only know about 800 cc's and lower. Yeah. But I had such a great time on that show. Hopefully they asked me to come back at 2800 cc's and I didn't listen to them.
so they can reevaluate you.
Yeah, that would be cool. I really like that Botched.
Was it interesting seeing yourself on TV? Because was that the first time you'd ever seen yourself like on, in that way? Because sometimes people like when they see themselves, like when I see myself, even in my own show, I just like, do I sound like that? Do I really look like that? What was that experience like?
I mean, let's see. 2000 cc's. Have I done anything before that? I don't know. Botched was pretty. I mean, I did Hooked on the Look, but I don't know if Hooked on the Look was before Botched.
Okay. What was that show?
Hooked on the Look is like in the UK. Okay. So basically, they go around with you and you show them your world or whatever, your best friend. You just do like activities or whatever on the show. Mm-hmm. That was cool, It's like a podcast almost, video, et cetera, but it's not really a podcast.
Yeah.
They follow you around, you and your best friend, and you just do things like Botox or shopping and, things like that. That's scripted, of course,
Okay.
But when I was on Botched, I loved it. I loved the way I look. I thought my personality was hilarious. I was like, wow, I'm really funny. The doctors even said, she's really funny, which, like I said, that's another compliment. I didn't expect it to go so good and sweet with the compliments on that show.
Did you had you seen the show before you'd been on it?
Oh yeah, tons of times.
Okay, so you were familiar with it.
Oh yeah, lots of beautiful models been on it.
Yeah, and so was it just this thing where, because don't they usually have? Is it like does one episode feature multiple different like?
It's three.
It's three.
Yeah. It's not always a model on there or something with positivity. Sometimes it's all like you three botched patients, and it's just hard to watch. I had my mom watch my Botched, but she was like she had to cover her eyes for all the bad parts. I was like, no, we can fast forward it. But it's intense and it's a little crazy, but. Mm-hmm. I don't have the stomach for that. I mean, I love boobs. I can do that kind of surgery, but rhino and all those other ones, I can't see it.
If you actually saw video of that happening,
it'd
be a little like, okay. Have they because it's too bad that we don't have the same kind of say talk shows that we had like in the 90s where they brought women that had enormous boobs on and they had these.
Now it's like sometimes people look down on it. It's like
well, that's
weird.
what I'm saying. Like the shows
it's
now,
not positive.
Yeah, the shows now I think are definitely have, and that's one of the things that I've tried to do with my show as kind of counter programming. Was I wanted to create a show.
Make sure I'm staying in.
Yeah. I wanted to create a show for super busty women that was a very upbeat, fun, positive environment, but that also gave them an opportunity to show them who they are because
the real them.
Yeah, because one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is how people might misjudge you when they see you.
Tons of times. That's been my whole life. I mean, I don't care.
And that's good, but it's still one of those things where people want to live in these judgments.
Oh yeah,
they want to look at you and they want to think these whatever negative thoughts about you without even knowing who you are.
Exactly, I get it all the time. I mean, it's if you want to have plastic surgery, and you don't want to look like everybody else. It's just something you got to do. You got to have self-esteem. You have to be confident in your own skin, and you gotta not give a fuck about what other people say or think.
Oh, exactly.
Because if that happens and you get surgery, you're not gonna feel comfortable, and then people's, you have to be strong to take plastic surgery in the first place if you're gonna look very extensive. I mean, I'm talking about like not 1,500 or like 2,000 and up. It's just the way the world is. You're gonna have to live in your body, so you have to be comfortable and not care what others think.
Well, because there's a large contingent of people that look at women that get, predominantly women, because men will do it too, but not to the extent that women do, that they think, well, any sort of enhancement, any sort of plastic surgery is some sort of defilement of the
problems.
body.
Yeah, we have
or just
mental problems.
Yeah, people should just be natural. It should be all about natural beauty. And I'm like, you know what? Well, I'm just saying, that doesn't necessarily, that doesn't work for everybody. Some people are fine with looking a certain way, and other people, that's why it exists.
Yeah.
And I think that, you shouldn't be condemned for wanting to look a certain way.
I think that I say it all the time. People ask me about plastic surgery all the time and stuff like that. I feel like if you're not comfortable in your own skin and you see somebody has something that you want, I think you should go for it and do it.
Yeah.
Everybody should be happy in their own skin, and that's just a huge thing. A lot of women have self-esteem problems, and it hurts me to see a lot of people that kind of go through that, but it's like, if you're not happy, just, you can change yourself, or just do something to make yourself a little bit happy. Plastic surgery does make you really happy. I'm sorry. My confidence goes through the roof. It's just the way it is. But it's not just plastic surgery. It's also working out. I definitely do not have a diet. I will eat whatever I want, but I do not eat fast food.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's all about, looking good, especially in my field, and trying to take care of yourself. But, I'm trying to support women all the time when they ask me questions.
Oh, and I was actually going to ask you that. Do you get women that are like, oh, I love the way you look, and what's your advice? Like, do they want advice or guidance?
Does it hurt? How long am I going to be under? Can I go back to work?
Yeah.
I get that a lot. So, I try to answer questions as much as I can, But the thing that bothers me is some women are like, they just like, oh, you're too big, or, the biggest one I get anywhere I go, which is annoying to the T, because I could be out anywhere and they'll be like, oh, her back must hurt. It might hurt. Like, it's like, dude, I don't hurt. Like, I've been an exotic dancer for like 10 years back in the days, 7-8 inch stilettos. And I occasionally sometimes still wear those in OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So my back does not hurt. I mean, I'm 111 probably without all my plastic surgery, but I'm 130 with it.
Wow, so those are almost 20 pounds.
Well, my ass implants too.
Okay,
Don't forget about the butt implants and the boobies.
Wow.
So, it's a lot of weight, but I don't have back problems because I think of being an exotic dancer for so long. I have a strong back.
Yeah.
And I work it out too, but not as much as just my balance is great. So I get that a lot of times. I kind of like, it's just such a negative thing. Oh, your back hurt? Oh my gosh, how do you carry those? Or like, that negative thing is just so annoying.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am only 5'5". So,
okay.
I mean, I get it. I guess I get it, but there's ways to talk to me about it.
Well, I was going to say, do you think that there are a lot of women out there that want to get surgery, but they're afraid of it because whether they're afraid to be judged, or they're afraid, money, obviously.
They're going to go, their bank account's going to drop and go low, 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 low. Or, things like that.
And I mean, unfortunately, you have people that might, try to go to, say, different countries to get cheaper procedures.
I don't recommend that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If you're going to put a price tag on your body, then you shouldn't be getting plastic surgery. Sorry as it may seem, but it's just the way it is. You cannot. I can't. So many people do it, and some girls get great results, and some people don't. But I don't know. I will never do that.
Well, and there's a safety factor involved.
It is.
You have to know that there's.
And if something happens, you're not in your hometown or where you live. You're in a different country, and then you have to worry about if something goes wrong. How are you going to get home? You're stuck in a place. Oh, it's scary.
Do you remember that model Ashton, who I think she died last year?
From the butt injections. Yeah, I did those.
Did you ever meet her?
I didn't meet her. She was just such a beautiful woman.
She was amazing.
And she was so sweet online.
Oh, yeah. She looked like she was such a wonderful.
But she wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
And I think the butt injections might have, hit something or whatever. I don't really know how the story goes. I just know it was for butt injections. So
and I think she did them somewhere in Europe. And
I thought it was Miami. Are you sure?
Or maybe. I don't know. You might be right.
I think it was Miami.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So, I mean,
don't judge me.
No. Yeah. There's, if put in the comments.
Yeah. I think it was Miami.
Just because we only got bits and pieces, I think, from her family, which, for good reason.
Yeah, it's
incredibly tragic.
Yeah, but she seemed like a very beautiful person inside and out, and she just was stunning looking.
Yeah, very approachable. and that's something that I think a woman that looks, as gorgeous as she does or you do, that you think, oh, wow, that they're so intimidating because, they look so amazing.
Right.
And
I get that a lot too. Like, I don't, a lot of people think I'm a bitch or a snob or anything, but I actually have a really good personality sometimes.
Well, and it all depends on context. Like, if you're in the middle of something, you don't want somebody just coming up to you and starting to bother you. Yeah. Just like anybody, if like I'm eating somewhere, it's like, okay, you don't need to talk to me. I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't. For me, I don't blame them.
No. Yeah, they're not. You do draw them in.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for sure. I do like it. I don't blame men because I do have amazing boobs and I just love boobs. So I'm like, I'm a woman that loves boobs.
Yeah.
I'm a bimbo that loves boobs. 2,000 and up is my favorite though. 2,000 cc's and up.
Nice.
But I do have a cut at like 35. I'm sorry. I don't like up. more than that.
More than that? Yeah.
No.
Well, and again, so yeah, that'll be interesting because
not for me. Any of that stuff.
Yeah. Because I wanted you actually, because you were able to help me segue into talking about the whole bimbo,
bimbofication.
Aesthetic. Yeah, that whole thing, because that I think has become a more
huge.
A very popular thing now in the last few years. I'm going to be having some more guests on later that at some point that we can talk about it with them too.
Awesome.
So, but you embrace the whole bimbo.
I do.
Moniker and
bimbo's like, just a look, really. It's not the way we act and talk. I mean, back then, bimbo is still really cute to me. I mean, it's not like bimbo can be a sophisticated woman too and just still look hot.
Yeah.
I mean, have just plastic surgery, but still have brains and beauty,
Yeah.
Bimbo's just, the word's changed, I guess.
Well, and so I'm curious, like the way you look now, how does that, is it very different from, say, your natural look?
Oh no, that we don't want to talk about that. That natural look was way off.
I'm just saying though, like was that kind of the huge boobs, the blonde? Was that something you're like, that's what I want to look like?
Exactly, but I was 18 when I started dancing. Okay. That's when I started to see, wow, I want to look like her. There's like people I would look up to. Like I'm only 18. No, in the strip clubs. I was only 18, and then you see the girls that are a little bit more voluptuous and, grow into their bodies and have all their shit going on. I'm 18, so I had a great body, but, not like that.
Well, I was going to say, if you're 18, if your 18-year-old self could see you, if you could meet your 18-year-old self, wonder how she would react to that.
Yeah.
To know, like, this is what you're gonna know. This is what you're gonna transform.
I remember. I mean, it was fun times for sure back then. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So what was it then about like the kind of bimbo aesthetic that you just really grabbed? Was it just because there was a lot? You felt like there was maybe a lot of glamorousness, sexiness to it. The fact that, or because you saw other women that looked like that, and that's what really drew you to it? Well,
the thing was, I got the boobs, and the boobs, then you have to get the butt, because if not, then you're unproportioned, and that happened with me. So I had to, I tried to do everything more non-surgical first, like I did the butt injections non-surgical first. Mm-hmm. Then I did the rhinoplasty non-surgical first. I had it for 5 years where you can make your nose look like a liquid nose job. Very popular. Well, 5 years I did it.
Okay.
And then I was like, you know what? I want to do the rhinoplasty.
Okay. So
then after the butt implants, I did the rhinoplasty. So it's like for 2 years, I literally was in plastic surgery.
Okay.
So a lot of, now that it's been, this is my first year with no plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. So it feels good, and I can actually enjoy things and do things and not have to like lose all my weight from working out and all my muscle mass, because that is just awful. The only thing about plastic surgery is losing your whole muscle mass in your arms and your legs is just awful, because you lose it all and you just look so fragile.
Well, do you lose it because you're basically recovering?
You don't work out.
You can't do anything.
Exactly. You use all your arms and my thighs and all that. That bothers me a lot. And then it takes 6 weeks. Well, it's 3 weeks to recover on the top, upper body, and 6 weeks on the bottom. So, after that, then you can, bring yourself back. But it takes a little bit, 2 months and stuff. And then, OnlyFans kind of takes a seat back a little bit, and you can't do so much. So it takes a lot out of you. People don't understand that surgery does take a lot out of you, you know, and you can't do much for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like excited that I can do everything this year, no leaks, no, everything's been great with my boobs.
That's wonderful.
And so I had like the 2000s to the 25s. The 25s, I did have a small leak. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty upsetting, I gotta say. That was the first time something went a little wrong.
Right, yeah.
It was small. It was a very slow leak, and it wasn't dangerous. I got very lucky.
That's good.
Yeah, and I didn't feel anything, no pain or anything. And then as soon as summer was over, I go, Dr. Rivas, I need to come back in. I need to do these boobs now.
Yeah.
And then, I talked to him. I had the consultation. I go, what size do you think he went? He says, I think it went down from 2,500 to 1800 on one and then
Oh, wow.
still 25 on the other.
Oh, yeah. That's,
So it was really hard on me.
Yeah.
It was very different. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go under the knife and stay 2,500 cc's. I was like, let's go up to 2,800 cc's.
Yeah.
Why pay to be the same size? It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I did the 2,800s. And these 2,800s will be a year in October 16th.
nice.
So they're still kind of new.
Yeah. Are you going to give
They
them a
buoy
birthday?
flex. Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Every year I celebrate them.
Nice.
Whatever boob size.
So I was going to say, outside of your boobs, how many procedures have you had done?
I've done 4, 6, 8, 12, 2,000, 25, 2,800. That's all boobs, and then just butt injections and rhinoplasty.
Okay. So
Butt implants. Sorry.
implants and injections.
Yeah, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does that work? Like, did you get the implants first and then the injections?
No, the injections first because I wanted to try non-surgical.
Oh, that's okay.
And it wasn't giving me like
look
it was
that you
a
want.
lot of money. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the money, like I think it was $5,000 a time. It didn't do very much.
Didn't do much for you, huh?
No, for $5,000 a session.
You're like, I better get an amazing boob butt
So
for
then
that.
my best friend Kat, love her so much.
Is that Queen of Clams?
Yes, Queen of Clams.
Well, I'd love to have her on the show too
Yeah,
at some point.
she should come. You should come, doll.
Yeah, let's.
And
I
I'll
mean,
come back to Vegas.
Well, I was going to say
she was just here.
I can have her on the show, by herself because I like to do a
Yeah,
solo,
yeah.
and then can bring you back together.
I think that's a good
and
idea.
do a duo.
That'd be great. So she told me, she's like, listen, baby, she's like, you should just go get the butt implants.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you're spending money for all this. It doesn't work. Just get the butt implants. So I was like thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I did.
Nice.
So thank you for the advice.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I'm curious. Do you have I just want to get your opinion on this. Why do you think like the bimbo culture has gotten popular? Like, what is it about it that you think people really resonate with?
I just think it's everywhere now, like a lot of people are plastic. They like plastic surgery. The men are doing it now.
Yeah.
The men are doing the lips. The men are doing the Botox.
Yeah. I've never heard that before.
It's called
Wow.
Botox and stuff.
Okay.
And it's just, they're doing the jawline. They're doing the fillers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just much more a plastic world right now. It all depends on where you are too,
Yeah.
State-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So country-wise, state-wise. It's just everywhere. A lot of people want plastic surgery.
Well, and I think, do you think it stems from the fact that it looks, it's a look that a lot of people just like. They like that aesthetic.
It is. It's amazing. I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious, what do you think people? Because you have a lot of misconceptions about you. So you have a lot of people that think that make judgments about you that aren't true.
Oh, all the time.
And in your experience, what is probably the biggest misconception that people have about you?
A lot of people, even before I did OnlyFans, a lot of people thought I was a porn star. I'm a porn star. Just like hardcore porn, and I'm like, that's so far from the truth. And
that's something you have no interest in.
Oh no.
Okay.
I can't do that world. I've done that before OnlyFans was even existent before, so not even like that. It was a boyfriend of mine, but
okay.
He tried to get me involved in that, and it just, back then it was no OnlyFans. It just wasn't something I want to do. So I learned as I got older that that's just not for me.
Yeah.
Hardcore is just not for me.
Yeah.
Softcore is great. I can play with myself and make lots of money just that way.
Well, and I was going to say, a lot of fans probably, because there's some that like hardcore. There's some that don't want to see you do hardcore.
Yes, exactly.
That might ruin
Takes
their illusion.
Away their
fantasy. Their fantasy that you're theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
some people get jealous. They don't want to see
do.
you with girls, or I do one girl.
Yeah. But
they don't want to see that too. Sometimes, just like you said, a fantasy, just me. I'm there, bimbo.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bimbo fantasy. Yeah.
So I'm curious, do you think, I gotta stop saying that. Sorry, I always say that too much. Do you think that huge boobs are essential to the bimbo look?
Yes.
Okay. So
I definitely do.
So as you define a bimbo, maybe not as big as yours, but they have to be big enough.
For me, I believe the bimbo should be about 800 cc's and up. I'm
Minimum.
sorry. The other sizes, I love you girls, but like the mud flap girl. She has some big ass titties. Like to be a bimbo, like the real bimbofication, I believe 800 and up.
And do you think that the most crucial elements of the bimbo aesthetic would be huge boobs and blonde hair?
Rhinoplasty.
Really?
I mean, that's going the whole nines. You got the fake nose, the fake butt, the fake
lips
boobs,
too.
the lips, the fillers, like everything. It's expensive to keep up the bimbofication. It's insanity.
To be a living doll?
Yeah, exactly. Be a living doll.
Yeah.
Slim and stack, because don't forget the gym. All the gym time.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't stop. The hair extension. I actually took my hair extensions out. But
okay.
that maintenance was insane, too.
I mean, what's it like going to the gym with, do you go to a private gym or do you go to
no. You know me. I love to be seen. No, I go to Equinox.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's fancy. The fancy gym.
Well, I live in LA.
Yeah. So... but you're actually there working out. You're not because
I don't pay attention to people. I'm in my zone. I have my headphones on, and for me, I'm just bored with everybody because nobody kind of has the big boobs in LA. It's very reserved.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I need to go to Silicon Valley, Jim.
Right.
Maybe I fit better there.
Well, I think because a lot of people are there as, trying to pursue acting careers.
They are.
And so there's a certain look that they have to have for Hollywood, which
natural.
is natural. Yeah. And very waitfish, very small.
Young.
Yeah.
Young and very slender, very tall for the elite models.
Yeah. Which it's I don't know. I've always found the look that Hollywood promotes is a little too small in a lot of ways.
Yes, thank you. And I live in West Hollywood, so it's very different. It's very natural over there.
Yeah. And it just, it's funny because, Hollywood has these incredible, unrealistic expectations.
Oh, yeah. It's changed.
Yeah. Well, but when you see, for instance, you'll see articles about look at how great so-and-so looks at, 55.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, most people cannot look like that even if they tried because they don't have the resources.
That's true.
So they, these people have all teams.
Yeah.
But huge boobs in Hollywood are like C cups.
Yeah, that's true. You're so right. That's true. That's why I think of myself as a one of a kind for sure.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure that you draw a lot of attention.
I mean, we got Orange County has a lot of big titty models, 4,000 and up for sure.
Really?
But in LA, I think, my 3,000s my 3,000 is probably the biggest in LA.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they're 3,000 now, everybody. Sorry. They've been, by the way, they've been nonstop growing for 3 months and they're like 3,000 or 3,100. I still don't know why they're grown so big.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
they're not even 2,800 anymore. It's the weirdest thing. I have no idea what's going on. If it's what's going on with my body. So everybody's like, your boobs are so big. Did you get plastic surgery again? I go, no, I haven't did anything. But these are not 2,800s anymore. I don't know.
So they started at, so how do I'm curious then, how do you?
Everybody is. And so I asked Google too, and nobody knows.
Wow.
It's very strange.
How do you?
I seen if it was rough sex. I Googled if it was rough sex. And it said no. It says you can't get your boobs,
Man,
boobs
too bad
can't
you couldn't
grow
fuck
that
your way
much.
to bigger boobs.
Everybody would do it.
That would be so much more fun.
Everybody would do it. Yeah, no, I don't know. They're just really, 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 really big. And if they go down after 3 months, I'm gonna freak out probably.
Really?
But the good thing is my body does take 3,100 by itself with no stretch marks or anything. So we may see an upgrade in the future. Nothing too soon. Like I said, I want to enjoy my non-surgery year.
You can just be like, oh, I don't have to worry about anything.
Yes, because I like the way they look. Everything is great. Just need more gym. But yeah, I'm happy with the butt, the rhino, and the boobies.
Okay. So when did you notice that they were bigger than 2,800?
It came about 3 months ago.
Did you all of a sudden you're like, they seem bigger?
Yeah, I thought it was my period, and I told the fiance, I was like, my boobs are huge. I go, they're really swollen. And then I thought they would go down after I had my monthly. They did not.
Okay.
They went bigger.
Wow.
And then they went down a little bit, and then they went bigger again. I don't know what's going on. I'm so happy though.
they're a magical body
People
part.
think I'm lying. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how they're growing.
Yeah. How do you measure? How were you able to measure? Did you go to a doctor and they were like, yeah, they confirmed that they were bigger?
Well, I talked to Revis.
Okay.
I mean, I talked to him on Instagram and I showed him pictures. I go, doctor, what size do you think these are? And he goes, they look like they're 3,200 cc's. I was like, wow. Okay.
Well, and I wonder where they're coming from because you're not producing the fluid for.
I'm definitely not pregnant, people.
Or just whatever, the fat, like the fatty tissue, or
I don't know. And also the thing is, it could be something with the internal bra. Maybe the internal bra has me. It's like a push up underneath, and maybe they spread it out more. That's all I could think because. In October will be a year. They're not a year yet.
Yeah.
So maybe they're still fluffing out. I don't know. I'm happy.
Did you ever hear about it was a procedure that I think was done in the late 90s. It was like the poly string.
No.
You never heard of those? Okay. So those were ones that they would put the string in the breast tissue and it would absorb moisture and it would make the boobs grow and it would keep them growing.
Wow.
They were.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they didn't last very long because, as you can imagine, your boobs continually growing could potentially be a risk.
That's weird. I know. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, "Are you girls gonna stay, or you guys are gonna grow bigger?" I'm like, I'm kind of scared a little bit. I'm like,
well, and I think that procedure wasn't legal in the United States, so the only people that could do it, they had to go to Europe to do it. So, but that's the thing is they only did it with a few. And there's only one, or I think Minka's the only one I know of that might still have them.
Okay, wow.
All the other models that had them, there was like Chelsea Charms and there was Maxie Mounds and Kayla Cleavage. They all had the string. That's
crazy.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So, but yeah, the idea that they could just grow.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm very happy though.
You're not complaining.
I think,
just don't go down.
When they go down, I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it. But
it's a one-way street. We're only going bigger.
Yeah, I know. And the body can take it. It's like my boobs want to be bigger on their own. I've done nothing. My body is fit for bigger boobs. Yeah. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. Well, and I have to say, my boobs are implants. They're not expanders. So they're 2,800 cc implants.
Okay.
Because people think they're like expanders. They're not. Like, this is a big bag in here.
Yeah.
So
So what would you say your favorite thing about having huge boobs is? If you have a favorite.
My favorite thing about huge boobs, just the confidence level. The confidence level is so fun. You look great in a lot of clothes. It's fun to go shopping beyond.
Yeah.
The tension can be good, not all the time.
That's a mixed bag.
That's, good and bad. But I understand men, so I don't really get mad at them if they're like doing exorcist turns or something, trying to look at me like, I get those a lot.
Any accidents?
I was going to say sometimes people try to walk into walls. I think it was like not too long ago. I was at the highlight room with my one of my hosts, and we were there, and I was going to the bathroom or like coming out of the bathroom, and I guess it's a little bit younger there, younger, like 20s and 30s there.
Yeah.
And I was like coming out of the bathroom, and I'm no lie, I had people coming this way, and then people going this way, and then people were like hanging out their heads to come check me out because you don't see a girl like me kind of like in the nightclubs anymore, especially LA.
Yeah.
So it was just the funniest thing. Like one of them almost walked into a wall. And I was like dying laughing.
That's funny.
It was really, really funny. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Did you ever imagine, because it sounds like you always wanted bigger boobs, did you ever imagine you'd be as big as you got? No. Or did you just think like, I'm just going to do like 800s and
No, I never thought like that. I thought that I'd be okay with 1200s because I was married and I was like, bye-bye husband, hello, big titties.
Okay.
So I got the 1200s and I thought that would be it. But for me, I was still very slender. I didn't have a side boob. So for me to get the side boob I wanted took the 2500s.
Really?
I couldn't live with 2000s.
It just wasn't big enough.
It wasn't big enough at all. For like a long time. The 25s were, don't get me wrong, they would have been for a while, but, that mistake happened. Okay. The 2800s I'm extremely happy with.
Okay.
I'm not trying to go into any more surgery or anything, but I say when these shrink, I might have a little bit of a fit.
Because you're getting used to the fact that they're a little bigger.
Exactly. So that I might be a little bit worried about. But Revis already knows. We already know they fit with no stretching or anything.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be good to go. But like I said, I'm not trying to do any more boob jobs at this moment.
Well, I was going to say, so what was it that made you decide? Because again, expanders are you have some that get expanders, some that don't. What made you decide that you're like expanders weren't for you?
Too many problems. A lot of girls have a lot of problems. They pop, and it's just very, very scary stuff. And I don't know. I don't think they're healthy. But I don't know. Women don't kill me.
Yeah, no, everybody's different.
Women might kill me. But anyways, having the tube and everything in you and then having the portal outside, it's just very, very strange. Like,
Yeah.
I have enough plastic surgery, man. I don't want ports too. And, like a robot, you're like a bimbo robot. I don't know. It's very strange. Like, fill me up, you know?
Yeah.
It sounds like an amazing concept, but like I said, there's a lot of girls that have a lot of problems. It's very sad.
Yeah. And you see them that
implants, not so much.
Not as much anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know that I imagine and I'd love to have a doctor on like Revis or somebody at some point to be able to say, has the technology.
He doesn't do expanders. He's just all implants.
And I was going to say, has the technology, like how the bags are in terms of their durability, like they're not as prone to leaking or popping anymore. Mm-hmm. And how that's changed over the last maybe few decades because what do you have, saline or silicone?
Well, after 800, you can only have saline, honey.
Really?
In the USA.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the UK, you can find somebody to put gummy bears or silicone in you.
Okay.
Overseas.
Okay.
But no, 800 cc's is all gummies. That's why they're all natural and looking the way they do. When you go up higher with the silicone, then you get the fake look.
Okay.
So then you're super fake looking, and that's why I love 800. I like bigger than 800 and up because it's faker.
Yeah.
It's the faker boob. It's a faker boob look.
And as far as boobs go, because you love huge boobs too on other women.
Yeah, I do. I love boobs.
Now, do you love them that are like yours, or do you love natural ones too, or is
no?
Just all.
I'm not a fan of natural boobs.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I know some people don't. That's not their cup
if I
of tea.
date a girl, they have to be like, when I did date a girl, now basically I did date a girl, but her boobs are like 800. But now if I were to date a girl, which probably not, women are crazy. I have enough problems. They would be 16 and up.
Okay.
That's a good number.
All right.
Yeah. And slim and stacked too, because it should have to kind of have my look.
Okay.
I'm very into like the Barbie doll look.
Okay. Well, hey.
Yeah. I'm very picky.
Well, it's, you got to have standards, right?
Yeah. For sure. Slim and stacked, baby.
Yep. Well, and that, like, when did you see, as you were getting bigger, did you see women that, like, you're like, that's what I want to look like, or that's how, it looks great there, and then I want
when I started dancing, that I would only say that was the time, because I saw this one girl go to a doctor, and I was like, wow, those are perfect. So my 4, 6, and 800s were with that same doctor.
Okay.
When I started out.
All right.
Yeah. So that's when I learned how good they are, because they're hard to find a good doctor. I
can imagine, yeah.
So that's how I looked at somebody. I was like, wow, I want those. Mm-hmm. As for other models, I have to think about.
Do you see models
maybe
now?
Winter Ray. Winter Ray had some perfect boobs for a long time.
Yeah.
I think she kind of went smaller. I don't know if she's even on social media.
Yeah,
I think I lost her.
Yeah, I haven't seen her active.
I lost her.
Yeah.
But she had really, really amazing ones too. There's a couple girls, but I can't think of them like on the top of my head.
No. I was just wondering though, because sometimes you can be inspired by them, and they're like, "Wow, those are amazing."
Well, the rhinoplasty for sure, was fun.
So, but would you say that they're your most popular feature to your fans?
My boobs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you're the whole package, but
my boobies are definitely that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all boobie fans, mainly, majority of it.
Is that your favorite body part on yourself?
Oh yeah. Cost enough too.
What? They should have, right?
Like 8 boob jobs, I think I've had.
8, yeah. So you said, okay, so the progress was what?
4, 6, 8, 12, 2,000,
25.
500, 28. Yeah.
So, but you would cap yourself at 35.
No, I wouldn't go that big.
Oh, okay. So
I'm just not into that, anymore. I would like I said, if my 2,800s did go, my 33,000s or 3,100s go down to 2,800, in the near future, I'd probably be 3,100.
Okay.
Or 32.
Okay.
Because this is what's going to look like.
Yeah.
And it's good enough.
Okay, so and that's fascinating, because I've had multiple guests on that they want to keep going bigger.
I know it happens,
and that didn't affect you. You got to that point where you're like, let's stop. Let's call it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you think they're at the perfect size in terms of matching with your like?
Yes.
Why is that why you wouldn't want to go bigger? Is because you just worried that it would just start to look crazy or just too many
it's
problems?
my wardrobe wouldn't fit me, and it's I think it's a great size. I don't look normal at all. I'm way off the charts, and it's good.
Yeah,
makes me money. I'm healthy. Like everything is good, and it's a good size.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't even know how heavy these are. These are like 8 pounds each.
Yeah.
I mean, right now they might be 10. It's insane. I used to have 6 with the 2500s. 2500s, I had 6 pounds each now. Now I have like 8 pounds each in them. And then I have the implants. Yeah. It's a lot of weight I carry.
Yeah.
And I think this is good for now. I think I'm very happy capped off at my boob size now.
Your boobs are maybe almost 20% of your body weight.
There you go.
At this point.
I have a lot of plastic surgery in me.
Yeah. Well, but
a lot of water weight.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, literally.
Saline weight, yeah.
There you go. Well, the butt implants are silicone.
Oh, okay.
Ah, you see? There so I got saline and silicone implants. Lots of water in me.
Yeah. So what was it like when you saw your boobs just getting bigger every time? Were you
I was
happy?
Confused.
Really? And why were you confused?
I don't know what's happening.
Well, no. I'm talking about like when you started to go bigger. Like when you got like 400, you're like, oh, those look good. But then when you got your 600, you're like, oh, those look better.
They go down. When you get your boobs, I tell ladies all the time, go the biggest you can go. They go down in 6 months and then you wish you went bigger. And a lot of women don't listen to me. And then they're like, they have to go, go under again so soon. I tell them all the time, but that's what happens. You're going to lose the 2 cup sizes. The look of the 2 cup sizes. And
that's because there's swelling.
There you go. All the swelling goes and then they just evaporate.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Well,
I mean, it is horrible when you start out small and then like you're 800, you're super excited. You're like, yeah, I'm in the max. And then it goes down and you look like you're 600. It's just a very, very sad thing.
So when you saw yourself at like 6 or 8, you were like, okay, I know I'm going bigger?
No, I didn't know at the time because the XL word wasn't even around. And, I'm 24 years old. There's no like big talk of big boobs and OnlyFans wasn't around. And
there's no show like this to showcase.
There was no fun show like this. There's like Playboy, what did I work on? Playboy Radio or whatever and things like that. But nothing like the booby talk wasn't that big. Nobody really had huge boobs. And I was in Florida. So there was really no talk of Florida, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm hoping because a lot of people, I'll get comments that are like saying that people that, oh, it's dangerous or,
it can be. It can be if you don't do your research and if your body can't take it.
Yeah. And that's something that is there any way that you can look, can a doctor evaluate your body to know if it's going to take, if you can take it or not? There's no way.
I don't think so. I think everybody has to take, it's
a risk.
Takes a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have that in your head that they're like, I'm going bigger, but fuck it if it's
No.
Okay, so
my body took it pretty well because the 4 to the 6 was I think 2 years. But then the 400s I had them for a while. So then when I went to the 6, I did wait 9 years.
Okay.
So that I think that happens with time. Just don't keep going big.
Yeah.
So then when I went the 6 to the 9, the 6 to the 8, that was 3 years more weight.
Okay.
So you see, you kind of gradually got to go. Some girls don't understand. You have to go big, because sometimes it's a little dangerous, The XXL doctor, Revis, is amazing. He can take you from, like, I was 12 to 2,000. That was like a super huge jump. That was like 2 boob jobs in one jump.
Yeah.
That was incredible. So it's just they got to do their research, for your boobs. It can be very dangerous if you don't.
Yeah.
You can't just go up super big right away. You kind of got to have that patience, as you said.
Yeah. Well, and again, and I think that's what leads to potential problems with expanders is I think they get, people might get excited.
It's like a water balloon. You're like filling up. It sounds freaking so hot. It's so hot, but eventually a balloon's going to pop.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I had, one of the guests that I had on last year, she was talking about how, I think, because it plays to how people's bodies are different, that she said her skin had a really, really great capacity to stretch.
That's awesome.
So for her, getting the expanding it, she, as far as I know, hasn't had too many problems. Great. And she's at 4,000 right now.
That's awesome.
So it's, and you want to just the women that have the issues, there's so much sympathy for them.
Yes, for sure. All the time. I feel so bad. I always show up with support, and I just want to make sure they're okay. Any kind of plastic surgery.
Yeah, because they want to look a certain way. They want to have the boobs.
It costs a lot of money, and it's a mental thing. It really can mess with your head if you have problems.
But I mean, it seems like the benefits though for your confidence, for your just overall
and
quality,
just be happy
happiness.
in your own skin.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure you can't imagine yourself without huge boobs.
No, I can't.
Like
I said, the leak was very different for me. It was the first time I ever had a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as bad, but it was for me for OnlyFans when I had to be completely naked. It was a little, it messed me a little bit, In clothes, people can't tell and I can't tell, but it kind of did something to me where I didn't feel like whole again.
Yeah.
At that time. So it hurt me a little bit, I gotta say. It was only 3 months before I had this surgery done because Revis took me right away.
Nice.
Thank God.
Nice.
Yeah.
So. Do you still have good feeling in there?
Oh, they're amazing.
Okay, so you haven't lost anything.
Nope.
That's good.
They're even nipply right now, actually.
Oh, they are. That's because
I have everything. I have no problems with anything.
Is it under the muscle or over the muscle?
Always under.
Under? Okay.
Always under.
When you're going that large, that's what you have?
I've never changed. I never went over.
Okay.
Nope. Always to the nipple.
Is that doctor recommendation or is that personal preference?
It's whatever I started with. I mean, I guess, that's true. It is, as knowing from other women, if you go over sometimes, eventually the bag could ripple or show or something. So my advice is to always try to go under if your body will take it.
Okay.
So you don't see the bag. The bag is hidden in our muscles, so you don't see it. If it ripples or does weird things, you don't know. You don't know inside.
What's great about yours is because you don't have the ripples on the side where you can see the bag.
I used to see that when I was way younger. A lot of women had the ripples in the stripper business.
Yeah,
talking about.
Well, and a lot of adult performers had that too.
Yeah, but you bend over and you would see the bag and stuff.
Yeah,
that's.
But yours are you see
under.
them and they're perfectly round and there's no contour deviations on the skin, which looks really terrific.
No stretch marks, no nothing. Very very good.
Are you excited to because I can imagine being you being 70 and still having these amazingly huge boobs, or do you think that you might get
I don't know about that 70. Being 70 is very scary for me. I don't know if I want to be up to 70. It's a very long. It's a very scary
no. I'm just saying though that to have huge boobs at that.
Yeah, I mean, I just love boobs. Everything is about health. So if I felt like I was too old that I had to take my boobs down, I would do it.
Okay.
You have to do for safety, but otherwise, no.
All right.
I wouldn't want to get rid of them.
All right. Well, Barbie, we are at the end of the show, unfortunately. I'd love to keep talking to you.
Thank you.
So, but again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope you had a great time.
I did. Thank you so much. It was so nice to finally meet you and be on your show. Thank you for always promoting me on X.
Oh, I do. I love to. Yeah, it's something I love to do, and I love to be able to do it even more now with a show like this.
Yes, and I love to get Queen of Clams on. Are you listening? You gotta come on with me. Let's do a double like we did on Botched.
Yeah, next time. I was going to say if she can
solo and together.
Yeah, I can have her on, then have you both back.
That would be super fun. We look forward to that.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
And to all of you out there in Huge Boob Land, we will see you next time. Bye.